Hey YouTube, how is it going today? Well, the market is continuing to rally off of yesterday morning's lows. In this video, I want to go over some of the Bitcoin related stocks. The price of Bitcoin was crushed a little bit on the comments by Elon Musk. So I want to answer the question, is this a buying opportunity in some of those Bitcoin related stocks, or is this going to be a bull trap? Then I also want to go into some of the market averages, some other great buying opportunities in some stocks, and then I'll get into your questions as well. All right, guys. Well, before I get into those Bitcoin-related stocks, I do want to touch base on the market averages. In yesterday's video, I did make a point that I wanted to go short some product related to the Qs once it got up towards these moving averages right here. I either wanted to go short or buy some puts on the Qs, or maybe buy an inverse fund that's related to the NASDAQ, because I mean, looking at this chart, it's still screaming a short. Once it gets up into this area, this is usually a pretty high probability short for a move down. But you know what is not screaming a short right now is the spiders. The S&P 500 is breaking above the 8-period exponential moving average, and it looks like it wants to move higher. So that one is definitely looking bullish, and one that is certainly not screaming short right now is the diamonds. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is breaking out to new highs. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average very seldom leads the market, but it looks like that's what's going on right now. And you got to put your own personal opinions aside and just listen to what the market is telling you. And the market is telling me right now, at least as of right now, that it wants to move higher. Now, I think I would like to see another couple of cards come out of the deck before I know which hand to play. But as of right now, with the Dow Jones moving into new high ground, the S&P 500 busting over that 8-period exponential moving average, that is not screaming a good short opportunity. So as of right now, I'm going to sit and wait, but it looks like the market is in rally mode again. All right, everybody, let's get into those Bitcoin-related stocks. The first one I want to talk about is SOS Limited. I actually did a video about this one a few days ago, and I had a lot of comments, and they were mixed. Some of the comments were saying this company is a total scam, and others were saying this is going to be the next hottest thing since sliced bread. I have not looked deeply into this company, so if you are looking to buy something for the long term, you need to look into it further. I am just giving you my opinion on the technical outlook of the chart. But in that video, I believe it was up around $11 a share. But it has since crashed because of the market, when the market pulled back, and actually came all the way down to the 21-period exponential moving average yesterday. I was saying in that video how I thought it might be a good buy if it filled this gap right around $8, and that's pretty much where it is at the moment. But it did bounce off of that 21-period exponential moving average, bounce all the way up to the 8-period exponential moving average, but it is finding resistance there today, just like it did yesterday. And the fact that it is reversing down is not a very good sign, but it's not pulling back very far. So it's not a terrible, terrible thing that it's reversing off of that 8-period exponential moving average just a little bit. But if you were thinking of getting into some of these Bitcoin-related stocks, in my opinion, now would be the time if you think Bitcoin is going to make a new high. Because if Bitcoin makes a new high, a lot of these Bitcoin-related stocks are going to take off because their movement is closely related to the movement of Bitcoin. And this is a pretty deep pullback in SOS Limited. Deep pullbacks are usually pretty good buying opportunities. Sometimes they continue to go lower, but more often than not, when you get these deep pullbacks, especially into moving averages like the 21-period exponential moving average, you tend to get some sort of a decent bounce. And if we look at the Fibonacci retracement level of this recent move, we can see the 61.8% retracement level was already breached, but it's holding it so far, and it is right in the general area of that 21-period exponential moving average. So in my opinion, if the market continues to go higher, which I'm thinking it is, this is in the middle of the day, so the market could reverse, and everything that the market is doing right now could be negated, but I think the market is going to continue higher from here. But I think that some of these Bitcoin related stocks are in a pretty good buy zone as I'm making this video. So I might even have to jump off this video and take a position in one of these. But SOS Limited looks like it is very tradable at the moment. Let me get this Fibonacci graph off of the chart and let's get into the next one. Next one I want to show you is BTBT. Okay, here is BTBT. And this one had actually crashed below the 50-period simple moving average yesterday. It had been pulling back quite substantially from over $30 a share to a low of under $14 a share in 5 trading days. So just a massive pullback in the stock. It had a nice bounce up to the 50-period simple moving average, and it is fighting with it as I'm making this video. If it gets above that moving average, I think it has a very strong possibility to at least getting to the $20 area, and that's, about another call it 15% move from here. So there's still a lot of upside left in BTBT at the minimum, because if it busts through this 50-period simple moving average, the $20 range should be pretty easy to get to. So I think BTBT, in my opinion, is pretty tradable, especially, guys, if Bitcoin goes higher. And if Bitcoin does make a new high, these stocks could go substantially higher. So it's all related on the price of Bitcoin at the moment. But I kind of think that Bitcoin is probably going to make a new high. So that is just my opinion. So that's why I'm kind of a little hyped up about these stocks at the moment, because I think they could certainly go higher, because I don't think Bitcoin's done yet. Next one I want to go into is SANP. SANP is screaming higher at the moment. I talked about this one when it was right around 1 cent, and it has made it to a high of 3 cents today. So this one is absolutely screaming. I was hoping this one was going to pull back a little bit about a week ago, but it didn't. It's just continuing to scream higher, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down just yet. It's a little risky to buy them when they're this extended, but when you're talking about a stock that is, 2.5 cents, they can go to 10 cents in a blink of an eye. So that's a 4x from here. But I would rather buy this stock on a pullback if it does pull back, but it's still a great looking stock chart at the moment. Next one I want to show you is HVBTF. This is Hive blockchain, and the pullback that we had yesterday was your opportunity to get in on that pullback, because it didn't even make it to the 21-period exponential moving average, and it's already jumped right back above that 8-period exponential moving average. So as far as I am concerned, it is already back into that uptrend. We got to see how it holds that 8-period exponential moving average, because it is at a critical juncture as we speak. But I think that Hive blockchain is in a pretty good buy range right now. I would like to give it at least another day or two to see if it holds that moving average. One day does not an uptrend make. So I would like to see it just hold that average for another couple of days before I did jump in. But it is a good looking chart. The next one I want to go into is ARBKF. And this one is Argo blockchain, and this one is taking off as I am making this video. I think when I made it earlier, it was hanging right around 350, so it is making a very bullish candle at the moment. Didn't stay below that 8-period exponential moving average very long, and I think this one is poised to make a new all-time high above 465 a share. So these things don't give you very much opportunity to get in at a discount, because these things are super volatile, and of course, so is Bitcoin. So when these things do pull back, if you want in on these on a technical perspective, you got to be quick on your feet, because they do not pull back very far. But I think all of these charts are looking pretty bullish at the moment. I personally don't own any of them. I might get some after I get done recording this video, but as of right now, I own none of them. All right, guys, let's get into some other nice looking charts that I found. I talked about this one before. This is Ring Energy Incorporated, ticker symbol REI, and I'm telling you, these commodity type stocks are going to probably perform very well going all the way into the summer at least. You probably should be finding a couple and putting them in your portfolio because they continue to be strong. They are under heavy accumulation. We can see that Ring Energy was busting out to a new high. It still is currently into a new high, but it's breaking out of this bullish pennant, bullish flag formation, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it is still bullish. But REI is looking super good. So you want to find the ones with the best looking chart patterns in these lower price stocks if you want to try to take advantage of this commodity push that I think we're going to have that goes at least till the summertime. Next one I want to go into is actually one that I do own. This one is a little extended, but is performing really well. Normally, I like to be ringing the register a little bit when a stock has a move up like this, but I'm going to sit tight on these. I think I want to sit tight on some of these oil stocks at least for a couple of months because I think the price of oil is probably going to continue to melt up, and that's going to make fatter margins for some of these oil stocks, and that's why they are starting to move up. But ICD is a little extended. I probably wouldn't be buying it at this level, but if it does pull back, it looks like a fantastic looking chart, a perfect looking cup and a handle that is in the very beginning stages of breaking out of this resistance area. So it's not too far extended, but I would still like to buy it on a pullback if it was me, but I'm already in it, so I don't have to worry about it. Next one I want to show you is QEP. QEP looks absolutely fantastic and is busting out to a new high today. So this one just continues to melt up. It's not having those huge moves, but I would expect QEP to be well over $5 probably by the end of the summer if oil continues to rally. And I think QEP might even be one of the better performing ones just because they have a pretty good looking fundamentals at the moment. So I think QEP looks super good. I would like to buy it on a pullback, but this one isn't super volatile, so you could probably buy it on a little bit of a breakout right now and be just fine. Another sector I want to look at is the coal sector. Arch Resources is busting out to a new high. It's pulling back at the moment, but it was making a nice little rounded bottom, and it had a decent breakout, had a nice little V bottom from this pullback that it had all the way into November, but it didn't take long to get right back up to those old highs, and now it's busting out into a higher one right now at 57. I know this is a little higher than the stocks I normally talk about, but what I want to get into is a lead into some of the lower priced coal stocks that we are watching. First one I want to go into is BTU. And this was brought to our attention in the Patreon by Giuseppe. I believe he was the one who was talking about BTU, and BTU is a fantastic looking chart. I was thinking about buying some of this today. I haven't bought it as of yet, but it is making a fantastic chart pattern. It is looking like it's starting to coil up and ready to explode. I mean, this is really starting to chop up near the highs. And usually when a stock does that, when it does break out, usually get a pretty good move. So BTU is at the top of my list for today. Haven't bought it just yet, but I might buy it when I'm done with this video. Next one I want to go into is METC. METC is a little extended at the moment. I would love to get it on a pullback near the top of this. It's going to be the support area, but the old resistance area. If I could get it right around $4, that would probably be fantastic because it already made this beautiful rounded bottom, tested the 200 period simple moving average 3 times before the move up. So now a decent pullback round to the low 4s would be totally healthy, and that's where I would love to get into METC. But METC looks super strong, and it's definitely been under accumulation. One more I want to touch base on is THTX. Talked about this one a couple of videos ago and is continuing to grind into that resistance area. And if it can push through this resistance area, it should be a pretty good move. Hasn't done it just yet, but is holding up super well when you consider how poor the market had been these last few days. So THTX is still showing its strength. And one more I did want to show you was one brought to our attention by Studio from the Patreon. He was looking at this descending wedge. Now, of course, it broke below it because the market got super weak, but this could be one of these little climax lows where it could be a great buying opportunity. Online gaming, of course, is super hot right now, so a move all the way down to this 200 period simple moving average could be a fantastic entry point. And as we can see, if we back the chart out a little bit, what happened the last time it ran into the 200 period simple moving average, it had a very nice move up all the way into the upper 20s. So GNOG, Golden Nugget Online Gaming, in my opinion, looks like a fantastic buy at the moment. It is just barely sitting on the 200 period simple moving average right now, so it's still at a critical point. But if you wanted to take a higher risk chance on a stock that has huge upside potential by looking at this chart, I think GNOG looks like a fantastic opportunity. I don't know if I would bet the farm on it, but it looks like it has a great chance of moving higher in the next couple of months. I did want to get to one question before I got out of here, and that was from hard-hitting Robert Witten. He wanted to talk about Zoom. This has been one of the favorites of the channel. Zoom, of course, got smashed like a lot of these lower price stocks did yesterday. Some of them have had a lot of technical damage, especially some of the ones that I own and am kind of in limbo right now. Like I said, I'm waiting for a couple more cards to come out of the deck so I know exactly where the market is going to be headed, and Zoom is one of those stocks. I don't own it, but it's making an identical pattern like some of my stocks and probably like a lot of your guys' stocks as well. As far as right now, it looks like it is probably just a hold. I mean, I know it's below that 8-period exponential moving average, but it has had such a sharp move off of yesterday's lows. Once you have a move like this and it gets right up to that 8-period exponential moving average, from a trading perspective, you want to see how it holds up. You don't necessarily want to jump out of it right away in a stock like this. You want to see how it holds up and if it can get back above that 8-period exponential moving average. And if it does, it has a very strong possibility of starting to build a little bit more of a base at these higher levels, and then make a nice consolidation waiting for that next move up. So as far as I'm concerned, Robert, I would probably just sit tight in Zoom if you are already holding it. And if you're not holding it, if you're actually considering buying it, I would probably wait and see if it can consolidate around the 225 to 250 area, because I think if it does that, once this 21-period exponential moving average catches up a little bit, that will be enough to give it that slingshot move into a new high. But that is my current opinion on Zomedica Pharmaceuticals. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions about any of these stocks, or if you have any other stocks you want me to take a look at, please leave them down there in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, guys, and until next time, take care.